Well, welcome back to the Drive Channel, and you find me again sitting on the sill of my 1998 Ferrari F355. And I wanted to give a quick update today as to where the car is and the next things that I'm going to do for the car. So I'm actually going to focus a little bit on the interior for the next few projects. In fact, I'm actually going to go from right to left on the car. So we're going to start with taking this door card off, because the button for the window switch has fallen into the door, and I want to see if I can glue it, because these are very, very expensive. I think this is about $350 to $400 for just the window switch. So as long as it looks good, I might consider gluing it. From there, I have the seat that has the thigh bolster that's a little bit wonky here. I'm going to try and take the seat out. That may prove to be very, very difficult, because the seat is right on the floor and I can't really get to the bolts that hold it in. So that may be something that I have to skip, but I'm going to try it anyway. From there, moving further left, and you can see the center console here, which has 3 gauges in it. So the 3 gauges, one of those gauges is a oil pressure gauge, which needs to be swapped out with an oil temperature gauge, because the oil pressure gauge is going to go into the instrument binnacle, and that'll replace the button or the indicator that tells you what gear you're in if you have an F1. And since this is no longer an F1, I want to swap that out. And in fact, it's kind of annoying, because when I drive this car around, it has the number 4 flashing at you. So, or I actually don't even know what number. Some unintelligible number is flashing at me, so that's kind of annoying. From there, moving even further, as I mentioned, I have to take the steering wheel off so I can remove the instrument binnacle. With that out, I'll replace the gauges with the dual gauge that has oil pressure and water temperature. And that's actually a single piece, and it was rather expensive, but I bought it a long time ago, so it's been sitting around. And then while that's out and while the steering wheel is out, I can remove the flappy paddles. So that's a fair amount of work, probably a couple weekends. But today I'm going to try and take off this, carefully take off this door card and see if I can get to the window switch, because I'm pretty sure it's in there. I can't quite see it, but I'm almost certain that it just pushed its way in. There's only one way to find out. That's to remove the door card. So here we go. Okay, so basically what we did was I took this trim piece off over here, and it's just simple screws, these little chrome screws here, and then just do that all the way around. There's a large screw that's in the center, right behind the handle. That's very typical because you need a very strong screw, so when you're pulling on the door, it doesn't pull right off. There's a piece of trim over here, and then there's a piece of trim over here. So that's this piece. And then once you get those off, then what you have to do with this piece is slide it forward. So I don't know if I can do this with the camera, but basically just take this and slide it forward. It has like it has a retainer over there. So that's how you remove that. Now, from here, 210 millimeters right here. So that should take the majority of the door pocket or the door panel off, but we'll see. Okay, so you can see here that there's a little clip if you pull this carpet back. So really the door card from here just has to be pried. So once you get everything off in here, you get everything unscrewed, then this has to pop, and then I think it just lifts off from here. So, but now I have the challenge of this button here, because the button doesn't appear to be, well, actually, I lied. It unscrews. So now I just have to unscrew this button. It may be on very, very tight, so that's what kind of fooled me. So, and it just unscrews forever. Whoa! There it is on the ground. Likewise, I may have to pop a few. Yep, we may need to pop a couple of these over here. And then that'll slide up. So you'll join me in a second. And there we go. And that's the door card off. And just like I suspected, there's this. Just as I suspected, there's the switch. All right, so I think I know what happened. What happened was this wire, for some reason, got kind of out of whack, and when the window was lowered, the window actually yanked the cord down, which broke the switch and had the switch fall into the door like this. So it actually wasn't somebody who necessarily was careless with the car. Could have been somebody who took the door card apart and then didn't put it back right. But yeah, if the wire is in the wrong place, the window will actually yank this down and pull it into the thing, thus breaking the whole thing. So that's the first mystery solved. But then there's also some bad news, because it looks like the switch is also broken to the point where it just doesn't pay to keep it, even though it's functional. And I'll show you what that's all about. So here's the switch reinstalled, and it appears to be functional. It just snapped right back into place, but there should be a shroud around this, as you can see here, all this broken plastic. So technically I could reinstall this and have it all work, but, well, it's kind of loose. There's that too. But the biggest problem is the fact that it looks terrible because it's broken. So this switch does have to be replaced, which is a massive bummer, because it's, it's kind of an expensive piece. Okay, so quick update. I did actually order up a new switch. It was not as much as I thought. For some reason, I remembered it being like $300 or $400. That may have been the double side with on the driver's side with the two switches, but this was only $120. So ordered it up, and it should be on its way. Now I have a dilemma, which is whether or not I leave this door card off and try and remove the seat, because I do have to remove the seat to try and see if I can fix that. So that's sort of my dilemma. With this off, it may be a little bit easier to get the seat out. So we'll stay tuned for that. All right, so it's a week later, and I got my part, which I'm going to struggle opening with one hand. here's the new switch, and it's actually the easiest thing in the world to install this. So you just got to make sure it's right side up and snap that right into place, which I probably can't do with one hand, but suffice to say, I just snapped this right into place, and then it's a matter of installing the door card all over again, just doing everything else in reverse. All right, so everything is back in. There's the switch right there. And the cool thing about this car is that when you open up the door, it automatically gives the door permission to use the window, so I don't have to actually put the key in the ignition. It just works. And there you go. Looks very nice. So there you have it. That's another successful project on the Ferrari 355, formerly F1 Berlinetta. So this, the next project I think I'm going to do on this car is to remove the instrument binnacle and remove the flappy paddles at the same time, because I have to take the steering wheel off in either case. So that'll be the next thing on this car. But in the meantime, I think I have a project going for the Land Rover down below. I think I'm going to do coilovers on it because the suspension is completely shot. Some say it's because someone put 35 bags of mulch in it at the same time, but who's to say? But anyway, that'll be a project that I'll probably make a video on. And in the meantime, subscribe and like and leave your comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.